Hi everyone, welcome. Thanks so much for checking the channel out. Sinus Iridum, Bianchini crater. Yes, this is what we're looking at. The diameter of Bianchini crater is 38 kilometers, 3.1 in depth. Now, what are we looking at? I'm not going to jump the gun here. I know that there are other structures smaller than the ones that you're seeing that we're already mesmerized with around Bianchini crater. But take a look. I know it's hard to see. Do you see the black dots in the blur? All the black specks that you're seeing? Well, those are objects that are amongst all the structuring that is totally like totally like Tetris, guys. Like Jenga. Remember the game Jenga? You take a block from the bottom and you put it on. I'm not gonna go through it. Anyways, it's jumbled up one over the other with intersection holes in and out, up and down that you can see. And as we're zooming in here, that we see the end, well, it's just to say that you see a beginning of other structures. Well, you know what? We're going to clarify those when we get the 14. Absolutely. Guys, did you see what we just saw in the first framed photo? Those are the structures that are between these structures. So the blur that we're looking at are actually all these block-like figures up and down, left and right, like stairs, all jumbled together. Could be structuring, could be a mechanism, whatever, a filter, who knows? But we're seeing more of the structure and more of the surface. Obviously, with the 14 telescope, we're going to get more definition. We're going to get more everything. So a bit about Sinus Iridum and Bianchini crater. So first Bianchini crater, something I've never mentioned, the Zura Mountains. Um, Bianchini itself lies along the northern Jura Mountains that ring the Sinus Iridum in the northwestern part of the near side of the moon. The impact of this crater near the edge of the Jura Mountains deposited some material into the Sinus Iridum floor. Yeah, it's a city. The quantities of structures is astonishing. And John Lear was right. There's a lot of structures up on the moon. How many are there? You know, at the beginning of this video, you have to go back to it. The first photo that you see that I zoom into, I get really ridiculously close into the photo, guys. Use a magnifying lens, back up, go ahead, try everything you can, but look at the structures. As big as a quarter, there must be something like 1,000 structures inside of that area. So there could be a lot more than we think, and I mean a lot more than we think of structures on the surface of the moon. This was in black. This was sorry in X-ray, by the way, which is why we changed the feature. And here, more structures again. Enjoy this. This is absolutely amazing to be able to see this. So this is Sinus Iridum. This is Bianchini crater, and that's where the city is in that line. And here's the ghost city, if you want, all connected, right to the east of Bianchini crater. So John Lear was right. There are actually structures on the moon. Imagine him being that humble all his life and just dealing with that. Having to live for how long, how many years knowing this? I've known it for a year and a half and I got my first white hairs. I'm serious. No jokes. 3 months after finding the first structure on the moon, for me, I started getting white hair. And then I thought of Moses. you know, Traumatized from seeing God. Well, yeah, I didn't see God, but I saw part of his creation and whoa. Well, so interesting. I really don't think these structures are very old, you know. Um, well, they're not a week old, but you know what I mean. I don't think they're thousands of years old. Well, if they are, That means that they were that advanced back then would be incredible thinking of that, and I probably would believe it. Here's another wavelength or other kind of structure connected to this bridge. See the blue structures at the back of Bianchini crater? Look at the connections all the way down, overpass, bridge, or maybe it's a cover, maybe it's camo, you know? So is this all a big fueling station? What is this? We see structures on the surface, buildings. It literally looks like buildings. Greenery, um, hazes or fogs, smoke maybe, possibly, because we don't have the proof, but I mean, it's something, right? We're seeing it. We're seeing some kind of wavelength difference. You know, there's that pipe in the bottom left of that of Sinus Iridum. I mean, holy smokes. That's pretty incredible finding that there, and it seems to go into the ground. What are we looking at here? We're looking at a connected tunnel to the end of Sinus Iridum Mountain. Right here, the bottom of the photo. In my other photo, I had it cut off, and just look what that corner is showing us. Well, it's showing us that there's another pipe and or tunnel going inside of the ground. And I'll look here. This pipe is connected and goes all the way up to one of the platforms here on the elevated Sinus Iridum city.
Sinus Iridum, guys. I'm amazed. But you know, think of it. What we just saw now, all the proof, all the structuring there, we're still going to get a lot of people. Thanks a lot for checking it out. Again, the Sinus Iridum video. I'm going to work hard on showing even better clarity of the surface of this beautiful area. But you know, could you imagine China landing there? I think this is why they were overwhelmed and why they did not want to land there. They should have asked me. I would have told them not to land there. Look at all the beautiful connections. And the way everything's connected is mesmerizing. And when you look at it, you know what? Blurry or not, even when I posted it, when it was a little bit blurry, no matter where you look on this photo, everything's connected. And it's connected in a way that everything is connected differently. But you could see that it's pathways and connections and bridges, tunnels, and even towers. And you could see feet, giant legs holding up these areas of platform-like areas in Sinus Iridum. So it's just mesmerizing. So for all the newcomers that have come to the channel, I can't thank you enough. Thanks so much for connecting with me. I love you all so much for being as curious as I am. And I try to explain as well as I can what I'm doing, but I'm not doing any manipulation. It's that I've magnified the surface a lot. And it's not easy because it gets blurry, right? So I was lucky to get a few shots that aren't so bad. You know, considering if they're saying it's 300 to 400,000 kilometers away. I'm not going to deny that because I have no proof, but is it not incredible that we could get surface structures at 400,000 kilometers? Well, thanks for viewing, guys. And yeah, the Sinus Iridum Mountain, those of you with telescopes, take the time to look at the mountain yourselves and say to yourself, I've shown you about hundreds of structures. So go to the mountain and try to find one area specifically on this photo that you can see yourself with your telescope. And that way it'll confirm to you that this really is the virtual mountain. Thanks, guys.
as always, a very special thank you to all the contributors to this channel. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it so very much. A long list, and this is the force. I haven't said that in so long. This particular group that you just saw was the force. Thanks to them, we got the telescope, and now more people contributing so that I do not have a big house. I have a very small house, a beautiful small house, but I'd like to at least have room enough to um, completely stand up my telescope. Please check out WSO YouTube channel.